Hey guys, we'll be live in just a minute here. AR, why don't you say a few words so we can make sure they can hear you?
Okay, give me a second, and I might be screaming because the Packers might be on the verge of scoring. Touchdown, Green Bay, here we go.
Dev, why don't you talk while AR desperately looks to the future of cheese?
Something
That,
sport ball.
that means Dev is technically still alive for now.
Somehow, despite
Yeah.
barely surviving a 10-hour shift yesterday.
To be fair, I haven't gotten any 2 a.m. texts from 2 a.m. in the middle of the night text from Dev where like she's locked in the building, she trips walking out of the building, she gets home and part of her house is missing. Although we have gotten photos of that. I think that was during the last show where part of your house is just missing.
Yeah, now a bigger part is missing, but that's on purpose because they kind of squared it off to air it out.
Okay, we have plenty to go over. You guys ready to go?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, we all knew this was gonna fucking happen.
I know,
although even then, okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Withwill podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, Run Withwill, and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, and I just discovered how fast is too fast to eat chicken wings.
I'm DevQ, and I am slightly concerned.
I'm pretty sure it was 20 minutes ago. I was like, I'm gonna speed run food.
Well, usually Dev puts that in the chat 20 minutes before an episode, like I'm speedrunning food, and this was my turn to hurriedly gobble down chicken wings before the show starts.
It has been a very strange. the news is more exciting than we thought it would be. Even though we expected it to be Deluge, we got something a little bit different. So let's just jump directly into Seekers. So first up, chapter 3-2.
Just the momentum just sinks entirely.
I know. So here's the weird thing with Seekers 3-2. We're getting theoretically good exposition, lots of background details. It starts being clear. The issue with 3-2 is this 3-2 is like the prologue thing.
Uh-huh.
Now here's the thing. I have almost nothing to say about 3-2 because it's all here's a whiff, here's a whiff, here's a whiff. And then 3-3, we get the payoff for the whiffs. Where not necessarily payoff, but like the payoff for the setup where like, oh, he got married to the professor's daughter who we only found out existed in 3-2, and no one has mentioned her in the current era stuff. I can already see where this is all going.
Yeah.
Someone's DIA.
I'm still not a fan of it because
no, see, I don't think it's dead. Remember,
no,
they're trying to get she's in the digital world.
Yeah, she's DMIA or whatever.
This just feels like a big
whatever
Hero
happened.
6.
Yes. Yeah, it's whatever happened.
Now, I will say this. Here's where Seekers kind of puts its whole ass out and causes an issue. 3-3 is very forward in what theoretically we want to see from Digimon, which is the character forward stuff, and then sometimes a monster battle breaks out.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3-3 is really enjoyable, and that is in theory what you want from Digimon, but it feels like any moment now it's going to get back to the I'm cyberpunk AG, I'm really cool, except I'm not, and also here's the dog humping people.
Yeah, this prologue is
I'm crying because my best friend is dead.
The issue is it's very much prologue stuff, but it doesn't feel like it feels like the time to do the prologue is when a chapter ends with her doing something or Tartarus. Instead, the chapter ended so focused on Eiji and Leon that getting the prologue bits now feels
such
weird.
It's such a change in direction, and even though it's it's kind of telegraphed what is going to happen, we don't really know how these characters are relevant yet. I agree that this is a more refreshing scenario and a more refreshing characters than AG, and that's kind of a nice vibe they have going on.
But that's the issue is we can only get so much of this.
Yeah, they don't really. It's like, okay, where's this going? Like we kind of know, but they haven't really illustrated it yet.
Like that's actually the issue. 3-3 was one of the more enjoyable chapter segments for me to read because it is what we want from the franchise, which is the interesting character interactions. The issue is this is not the book we've been reading.
Right.
And I don't expect this to hang on. I expect literally it's going to be like 3-4, 3-5, and then Saya gets blown into the digital world.
Yeah, the bad stuff happens, and half the characters that is like, okay, it's kind of interesting. Oh, they're gone.
It also feels like it's weird because, and I need to check, it's possible we knew the ages. Does 20 years feel like much more disconnected than you were expecting for something like this?
Yes, that doesn't really add up to the timelines. Like I didn't think Shu was that old.
I thought it was gonna be like 5 or 10 years, because even like Marvin was there in the flashback stuff, the earlier. Mm-hmm. So like, unless that's jumping ahead more years than I'm expecting, this feels really weirdly disconnected. I guess the idea is they need to say 20 years, so it feels like the conglomerate would take that long to build up and take over the world, sort of. But I don't know. I like the chapter. My concern is this isn't the book so far, and I don't know how much more I would get. Although I will say, having Saya be introduced in the prologue, be the professor's daughter, and she marries who becomes Tartarus, that's a bit too much telegraphing what's happening. A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I dislike it.
It's literally just fine.
I actually like it. The issue is it's telegraphing, oh, so she's definitely getting fucked up somehow.
Oh yeah,
and that's and it's
they got divorced. She ran away to the digital world.
Saya has 20 different flags, all waving.
Covered. She's covered in the flags.
Saya is standing on outside the airport waving the flags back and forth,
Yeah,
and
it's
we're
like,
just waiting.
She's the
She's
young
wearing the red shirt.
she's the young innocent maiden. Oh, she's toast.
Yeah.
She is absolutely
But
toast.
I will say this: if it kept the if they could keep the pace of 3-3 and just throw in a fight occasionally, I'd be reasonably happy, honestly.
I'd rather they just scrap Seekers entirely and just give us this story. Like, just build up to what happens to them and how what's his name?
Here's the issue. When we go back to AG, are we gonna get serious AG? I have to avenge Leon. I have.
Who's Leon? I've already forgotten him.
And then we got 2 batches of fan art, and then a much more interesting Pulsemon in Dreamers. So first up, we get the weird thing is Dreamers gets so few pages, but it does the exposition really well.
Yeah.
Then we get comedy with Pulsemon jumping in. It goes back, catches up to the present. We get to see Witch Only, which I actually have to say, from what little I've seen in Dreamers, I actually don't like the Witch Only in it. It feels like it's just, this is the digital world, but with some magic theming.
Yeah,
rather than an actual different world. It's just here is Lord of the Rings Digimon, and there's Tailmon with a hat.
Fans have sort of built up what their sort of perceptions of Witch Only are, and it ain't this.
Yeah. And then we get Devimon in the Tenya Yabuna style. I love the style that he draws enemies like Devimon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good guys too. Like I love the Tailmon, and the Mojamon's really cute too. I didn't think you could make Mojamon that cute.
And I love Devimon trying to figure out what to do about this little guy, and then he just has the giant fucking head and has to deal with that. And then Ghostmon wants to go, and Pulsemon's just like, nope, you'll be worthless. So is Ritsu, but I want him to come. And
somehow the giant head never stops being funny.
No, it doesn't, because it always uses it at the it doesn't just have him show up as action hero. He's there ranting. Someone's like, you can't do shit, and then they turn around and he's just fucking standing there with the giant fucking head. He's not doing anything. He's just like, bleh.
Let's go.
Yeah,
that's probably why it's so funny, is that's somehow that is the let's go. Like that's the evolution. That's what you get.
Yeah. And then I love at the end where he's just right on top of Leomon, let's go, and he's grabbing Ritsu's tied up. Ghostmon's in the back alone waving. It's just really stupid and works well. Yeah, that's working very well. And then
palette cleanser.
Lots and lots of so let's go over Anniversaries. Come on, Digimon, published in 1997. This is basically the first fiction, and we don't get Bun or Kentaro, but the style is still there, even in Dreamers and elsewhere. Yabuno's still there. It's crazy.
It is weird going from Dreamers to Come On Digimon. It's the same guy.
Yeah,
and it's the same style.
And it's still a motherfucker with a giant fucking head.
Yes. Yeah. That too.
And then it's the 7th anniversary of Atmon.
Yes.
Which exists, and they remember it exists every once in a while. Like in that Offmon plush that I got, and no one else seems to.
Not as, wish they'd acknowledge it more, but it still gets some love.
No one's buying that. That plush is still fucking sitting there.
Yeah, I need to get a purchase together is what I need to do.
Then it's the 12th anniversary of Hunters.
It's Hunters seems to
Hunters is
Hunters in the moment.
Hunters is the only Digimon series that is Emmy nominated.
Hunters in the moment, when the first time you watch it, you don't really like it very much, but as the years go by, you kind of go back and go, that was weird and silly and fun.
So Hunters has a benefit in the modern world, which is if you just want to sit down and watch it, the one and done style actually works for Hunters, because it's one and done with little hints of stuff that actually coalesce
I guess they don't coalesce very well. Now, Hunters does suck. Like, I'm not saying that it's good.
I'm not saying it's good either. It's at least stupid fun.
I value its existence more now.
That is a terrible compliment there.
Well, I mean, it's a terrible series.
Well,
but
yes. Speaking of that, it's the second anniversary of Ghost Game.
I'm really. It's going to be weird to look at Ghost Game's legacy.
It's the modern age of Hunters. It kind of went nowhere, and we kind of just waited for Agumon to show up and do something.
A little bit, but the individual episodes I was still more entertained by. And the characters I thought were more fun.
Here's the thing. I still have major issues with it. If they put it on Blu-ray, I'd still fucking buy it.
Well, because you buy all the Digimon things on all the Blu-rays.
I don't. I didn't get those new fucking ones with the eggs.
Because you have like the same thing 3 times or some shit.
The white box.
I don't have that. Let's see. And I never got the movie singles. But yeah, Ghost Game is weird because we're not that disconnected from it yet, honestly.
Right. Ghost Game's going to be one where you appreciate individual moments and individual episodes more than the series.
And then also, second anniversary of Dreamers. This one's weird because it's like the most relevant one week in and week out.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's an anniversary because it's like it's going. Like it feels like it's active.
And then talk about relevance twice. 23rd anniversary of Digimon the movie and 3rd anniversary of the US home video release of Kizuna. Both of which are now relevant.
Yeah.
Yes. Partially your fault.
I love that poster.
That's certainly a conversation piece.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's still wild that that's the same day. And then let's get into to the beginning stuff. So first up, we're not going to be talking about spoilers. Although I will say, I absolutely love that, and AR and Dev both noticed, they've both seen it. Every single part of Tri and Kizuna, the spoilers we get are all like always filtered through a person or two who, and the translations are maybe not great, or they maybe didn't fully understand it, and the experience of watching the movie is always so wildly different.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't bother. I don't. I go actively try to avoid them only because the reliability of them is so dicey. If it was like a straight up like Wikipedia summary of the story, I'd be like, I'd probably dig into it, but so I don't trust. I just have such a distrust for the spoilers that we get.
Yeah, so we will see. I guess first up, let's talk about. So we're not gonna. When we talk about it on here, you guys will know. We'll get to that shortly. The first preview screenings were in Japan, which is why spoilers are out and about. They did 2 of those. They had little stage events. I love that the giant Vmon mascot is there doing its best. People seem to really like the screening. Then to continue that on, we know what the theater bonus items are, and they're going aggressive on these. So there's going to be 3 weeks of bonus items, at least initially, because you never know what they'll do. Each week comes with a redemption card with a code for an audio drama.
Oh.
So week one is Daisuke's first step. Noodle Shop Motomiya opens, and it's mentioned when they announce these. It's prologues and epilogues. Then the second week is SOS for My Brother, Takeru and Hikari's top secret mission. And then
I can only speculate.
And then the third week is Toward Our Future, which I believe has been the tagline for the movie. I believe that's been on the posters and stuff. And then weeks 1 through 3 will also get card stuff. The first week is a tutorial sample deck based on the movie. Second week is a Vmon promo card with really cute art. And the third week, Ukomon promo card with cute art, or at least as cute as that thing gets.
It's cute as Ukomon allows.
Yeah.
They also did here are some cast members doing an intro that is 100% not scripted, even though you can see them looking at the script. And then, did you guys see for the promo where because they've been putting up the openings and endings for 02 as promos were like, it's the opening and ending, then you get a trailer at the end. They did this one a bit different for Target. It goes over 02 quickly while Target plays, and then it changes to an 02 next episode preview going over the beginning. A few people said that preview segment might have been at Digifest. But that's a fun little thing.
Okay.
And then things changed while in the 2 weeks when we were gone. So
boy, have they.
So
this is the part to listen to.
So first, Fathom, Fandango, and Adam put up listings saying there's going to be a U.S. screening on November 8th, which is very ambitious. Some of the text was wonky, whatever. Still very ambitious. And then a few days later, we find out, the ambition does not end there. November 8th is the dub. November 9th is subbed.
Jeez.
Now, let's be clear. That's very ambitious.
Yeah.
A week and a half later, dubbed and subbed. That is almost so quick that I had to jump into planning what we were going to do. Because in theory, it was going to be like, if we're lucky, maybe we'll get something early in December before December movies start up.
Yeah.
It was like,
it's like, how many months do we have to wait for this?
Yeah.
How many months do we have to avoid? How many months do we have to avoid spoilers?
At this point, tickets are basically completely open and for sale. Most places it will end up playing. Some theaters are definitely still being added. I think, Dev, you had a few theaters adding just like a day or two ago.
Yeah, because before it's just like, okay, here's one out in Bumblefuck and the other one closer than Bumblefuck, but over a state line.
Yes, I believe the current lineup is, I think, AR, you said you have to drive a few minutes.
Yep, no, my usual.
Dev, I believe it's next door to where she works.
Yeah, it's on the or it's around the corner.
And
from
for me,
my store,
it's behind
my mall.
For me, it's right across the street from my house.
I can literally leave my work shift and just like walk over to the theater.
Yes, that is basically what I have to do. So, I have tickets for both.
Yeah, I'm only getting one, but
so here,
I will get tickets. I'm gonna check out the dub, honestly.
Yeah, I decided, screw it. It's right across the street. I don't have to do shit to make this happen. So I will do both. Right. So here are the plans, theoretically. At some point, a few days after the 8th and 9th, we will do an extra podcast that is just talking about the movie. We don't know exactly when. It could be the afternoon that Saturday. It could be our normal time on Monday. I'm waiting for double checking on a few people we're seeing if we can grab with us. Not saying who quite yet, because I don't want to put them on the spot in case the answer ends up being no, even though I believe it was yes. When do you think? So we will see.
It's time dependent. Yeah.
Yes.
It would work out probably better for like at least after my work shifts, because
it's one of those where it looks like at the moment everyone except one person might line up with just our normal time. It's just a matter of if that person can also. So it may very well just be Monday at the normal time, just on an off week. And that will just be movie talk. And we had to put that together much quicker than expected, but nothing will be more fun than just being able to see the movie and that being it. And I hope it is a quick thing for everyone, even though...
Sadly, I wish we could do like an MST 3K thing.
That's for the home release.
So I think
we'll do something where we sync it up.
I think too many people doing them has kind of killed doing the kind of amusing commentary.
Osdower.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, so check movie theaters near you, check ticket sites. There's definitely stuff happening with other countries. We're just not keeping track of it because I got shit to do, frankly.
In 10 years, Vonde will get to see it.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll see. So then they also announced that, like, I don't remember if they did one of these for Kizuna. They did for Try, where like right before they do the little stream with cast members and shit. Did they do one of these for Kizuna? I just don't remember.
Don't remember one for Kizuna, but I also don't.
I
only
kind of late.
vaguely
wait,
remember the one.
no, they didn't. It was the first Diginavi was Kizuna.
Oh yeah,
it was the first one of those. So they're doing one of these, and here's where we should have like figured out something was going on. There's an English stream also. They're doing the same stream.
That combined with the
Comic-Con
panel, that's
so
like okay, they got plans.
So the cast and guests are the 602 kids. We will see what comes up there. I will say the person who I'm happy to see there, because he's always the one who had the most energy at these, was Junya Inoki. Anytime they did one of the try ones where he was there, like, remember when he drew the Patamon with the bloody mouth?
Oh yeah.
No, but I need to see that.
They made it into a T-shirt. His art was so popular. It was for Try Part 3, 4. It's like, draw a scene from the movie and don't explain it. And everyone draws theirs, turns it around, and everyone kind of looks at his and they said something effective. Are you sure you should show that? It spoils something. He goes, it will be fine. And he turns around, it's just like a Patamon going, yeah.
Patamon taking a bite out of TK.
Yeah. Nom nom nom.
Nom.
And then we get character overview and storyboard number 5. Ken, the best part of this is I like how if you read all the information they give and then you see the storyboard, you can go, oh, even without the text, I know exactly what's happening here. But let's go over the text first. In the beginning, Ken is a sophomore in college and studying hard for the police officer's exam. While he gets a lot of attention on campus, Wormmon is by his side as usual. We look forward to seeing Ken's success in both academic and social endeavors. Now, this is very clearly girls hitting on him, trying to find out more about him, and Wormmon sitting there looking like he just is done.
Nope.
Like, he's like, I'm going to take this bitch out back and bury her.
Yeah. Wormmon's making a list.
And then,
but also, that's how I feel at work every day.
And then we got from a certain Digimon partner staff member their 3 favorite Ken stories. Episode 21, Goodbye Ken-chan, which is an easy choice. Yeah. Episode 23, When the Digivice is Tainted by Darkness, again, an easy Ken choice. Episode 38, Holy Night, The Big Digimon Reunion, again, an easy Ken choice. And if you're watching the dub, you even get a strip poker joke.
Yeah, that one's I don't always associate that with being a Ken episode, but I guess.
Well, I think it makes sense because he's unsure about inviting people in the first place.
Yeah, no, it makes
it is a Ken episode, but bigger stuff happens in it, so you don't think of it as a Ken.
It's not as boldly dramatic Ken-wise as
I will say
the first
they
2.
cheated on the quote though.
They did.
The favorite Ken line is episode 23, Wormmon, thank you for being born. There's an issue. That is not a single line in that episode. It's 2 lines and someone else talks in between. I think Minomon Wormmon says something in between. This is like a cheating quote because it's 2 different quotes that they've mixed into one.
It's okay.
And the next installment, I believe the only person they didn't do was it Louis?
No, they didn't.
Oh no, they didn't do Louis or Daisuke.
They did Daisuke, didn't they?
No, they did an art. They did an art preview of Daisuke. It was not one of these.
Oh, okay.
Hikari was 1, Miyako was 2, Takeru was 3, Iori was 4, and then 5 is Ken.
Takeru because the worst fucking Patamon sketch in existence.
Wait, I'm looking at that again. I fucking love the 2-frame. The best one is when he's on the hat and he's like looking dramatic, but it's just 2 dots and a little.
So bad.
I'm seeing if I can find that Patamon shirt really quickly. No, I cannot. Oh well, I tried. And then we got a bit of music stuff to go over. So first up, Butterfly ranked 12th in TV Asahi's anime song ranking, Reiwa versus Heisei versus Showa. They did rankings for all three eras. Butterfly was
That's
12th.
such a strange concept to do a rankings for.
Well, it's weirder because it's that weird usage where versus does not mean versus, it just means and.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, I will say this. There were very few surprises, especially outside of Reiwa. It's like, oh,
yeah.
I'm looking through the list and like, oh, number 4 for Showa is Get Wild. It's like, that's not a shock. Or like, number 2 is Cruel Angel's Thesis. And there's Dragon Ball. There weren't much in the way of shocks for these. It's just, oh, anything in the top 15 could have been anywhere in the top 15 with no surprise.
Yeah.
They showed various clips of Wada Koji around when Try was out. In fact, the photo they show of them, I believe that is the first appearance of the Agumon mascot costume.
Oh. Huh. I suppose.
Because that was when the quote-unquote DigiFest 0, that was where the Digimon Adventure 15th anniversary in Odaiba, where they retroactively decided that was DigiFest.
Yeah.
And also, the weirdest thing was, I'm going through like the images to figure out, is there anything more I need to write? I'm like, I need to zoom in because that face looks familiar. It's like, oh, it's a Y from Card Battle. He's one of the hosts.
Oh. Huh.
And then we have some music release information for the beginning. They announced 4 digital singles, which means they're just going to do the big CD later on. Various Colors by AIM, the new ending theme. Beat Hit, the beginning vocal arrange version. Target Akai Shogeki, the beginning version. I'll say this, because they used the old lyrics, but they remixed the music. Anytime we've heard them in the trailer, that might be the best version of that song. Like, I need to hear the full thing, but where they've kind of jazzed it up a little bit. And then Braveheart, the beginning version. So I'm looking forward to all those. And then
it's always fun getting new music.
Yeah, new DigiGift wallpaper for October. Of course, it's Imperial Dramon Fighter mode. And the best part is they compressed it correct this time. Not only did they compress it correct, and I didn't need to redo it, the actual calendar dates are not like copy pasted from some old scuzzy thing. And they marked off the movie date. And then, and this is where like they start like, it's funny because anytime someone asks me, well, like, when's all the movie promotion gonna start? It's like, they have stuff coming out, just give it a couple days. Multiple people, like, they don't seem to be. I'm like, wait. And then they start going fucking nuts. So on top of the stuff we talked about already, they're doing a triple feature for 2 weeks with movies 1, 2, and 4. There's a message to go with here, but I'm going to skip it because it's funny.
It's the easy joke that we're not gonna make.
Yeah, but for for 2 weeks, at the time of announcing it, it was like 47 theaters. I think it's up to 49 now because they're just adding more theaters that want to show it because those 3 movies together are only like 90 minutes. And they've teased that
our war game. Yeah, our war game by itself isn't terribly long.
It's like 20, 40, 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And they've teased there'll be theater gifts. So we'll see what pops up there. I will say the only thing that's a bit weird to me is that it's literally slap in the middle of when the new movie comes out. You feel like you'd want to do it.
I think it would be a little before.
Oh, no, there is. Like, week 1 is before it's out. Week 2 starts the same day it comes out.
I guess you could like hop in one and then.
Yeah, I guess the idea is a week in the lead up and then a week with people so excited for Digimon they'll go see something else. I guess is the idea. So we'll see. And then New York Comic-Con updated stuff. The panel has been moved to, I believe, a much bigger room. They've changed the time. I think it's the same day. It's now 1:45. They announced Justin Rojas is the host, which he's hosted a few Digimon things. He was when they did the Q&A at the TCL Chinese Theater before the screening of Try One, I believe he was the host, and I believe he hosted the after party. Oh. And I believe he was the host for. Do you remember when, because Kizuna got delayed, they got like Robbie Damon and a few people to do commentary while not showing the movie?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I believe
they got, like,
I watched that.
Like Damon and Herlacher, I think they got.
I believe so. And Rojas was the host of that, I believe.
Okay.
So he's hosting the panel. They did announce the producers Hiromi Seki, which no shock. And they're like, they're like, it will close with a special look at the new movie Digimon Adventure 0 to the Beginning, which premieres in the United States, Latin America, Australia, and New Zealand this fall. Now, the interesting thing here was, technically speaking, if you ignore like stuff we weren't supposed to know at the time, I don't think we knew about any 4 of these. In the sense of they're like, oh, this fall.
No.
Yeah. So on top of that, they announced various stuff for the exhibition hall. So life-size statues of Agumon and Gabumon for photos. I believe they've dragged those to a few recent conventions. Yeah. I want to say a number of actors from the reboot, from the dub reboot, I want to say I saw taking photos with statues. They're going to have a mural wall for the beginning, which they did for Try Kizuna. There wasn't anything to do a mural wall with at the time. A demo play area for the card game. They'll have Toei loves that green screen photo booth they bring around, which they'll have a Digimon Adventure 02, the beginning one. They'll also have a shop where they team up with Dimmok Pop-Up Shop, which various merchandise, including Digimon stuff. They don't say what they will have Digimon, but they list generically the apparel, skate decks, and enamel pins. I think the only thing any of us would care about are the pins.
Yeah.
And since someone in chat mentioned, yes, Latin America, there's no information about it, minus that they've definitely said it's coming this fall. So at the time they wrote this, that was the plan. So we'll see where that falls. I don't believe at this point there's been any actual announcement about Latin America, Australia, or New Zealand, though.
But to be fair, there hasn't been any actual announcement about the U.S. either.
Well, that's the weird thing. At this point, announcement or not, they're selling tickets. It's not like, oh, you have to find the tickets. It's just randomly at theaters at this point.
Right. But there hasn't been any promotional push for that yet.
No.
Do they really have to? I mean, that's what we're here for.
No, and that's the thing is that's where like people are like, I don't understand why there's no promotional push. Promotional push for these types of screenings are very minimal in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that the big promotional push starts with this.
So far, the biggest promotional push is something that technically is not newsworthy because it could be someone shit posting. Brian Donovan posting photos of an older Daisuke. If you know, you know. Wink, wink. It's like, yeah, that's not technically news because that could be him shit posting based on him coming back for the stuff that I helped hire him for. Not and I'm saying I do not know that, but I'm saying technically speaking, it could be.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that lands. The New York Comic Con stuff, it's funny. I feel like they want the announcement to be there, but we kind of already, like, unless they're, like, if they announce the cast, that's new. There's very little new they can actually tell us, because technically speaking, it hasn't been posted solidly. We know what the Fathom value add is.
Yeah. I think a cast would be, at least some of the principles would be nice.
Because you do know that's how most Fathom screenings work, right? Fathom will only do them if they get some sort of early exclusive thing to show.
Yeah.
A few places have put it up and then it's vanished. It's an intro from the director. Which I think was what the plan was for Kizuna, and I don't think we ever saw what that was supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
And then, 3 years late, the UK gets a release of Kizuna. I will say this. Look. Is it card?
England works in Internet Explorer time.
Is it so late that it's hilarious? Yes. Is it a really nice collector's edition? Yes. Is it also a really nice collector's edition filled with widgets? Yes. Am I going to order it? Yes. So It's coming out November 27th. Pre-orders are already open. So first you get the nice outer box. I like that it uses the teaser poster with the logo.
Yeah.
On the
I forgot
back,
about that
you
art.
get the weird. This was like, I swear this was like a bonus at one of the cafes or something. I don't remember what. It was like if you went to a theater that was showing the movie and spent $2,000 on drinks and popcorn, you got one of these at random, I think is the back. And then on the inside you get final poster with English logo. 4 art cards I've seen some movie. I swear these are like the 4 most common images promo for Kizuna.
Yeah, especially with all the
Yeah.
O2 kids in that one exact shot.
That 102 shot.
Yes. To be fair, that is the only time they do something in the movie that is not them just being hilarious. And then the weird thing is it's the thanks book, but translated, and a slightly wider aspect ratio, I believe. Here's the thing, I actually love that book, so I'll love getting another copy of that. And it appears to be the full book. So, so here's the thing. It feels like the reason to rush this out is they won't have to wait. But also, you don't want to get people's hopes up when they could be waiting. So, good luck to all of you in the
just
UK.
rushing it out so the Brits will be ready for the beginning to come out in 2026.
Yes. It's just the beginning of their wait. And then, it's funny, we get a teaser in the middle of the night on Saturday. And it's a silhouette of a Digimon Pendulum and 2 of the dancing guys from the commercial.
Mon Digimon.
And then they announce a new Digimon Pendulum, the Digimon Pendulum Color, with marketing images and a new updated version of that commercial with a remix of the song.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
A cinematic masterpiece.
So it's the 1, 2, and 3 with the 0.5 content and some new stuff also. I like how for the number they're just calling it 1, 2, and 3 since it's a mix. We got to see a new Digimon, Tilakmon. That is that's a design that does not work well in small art. You need to see it larger to see what's going on because it looks like a face. And then when you see that there's,
it's Majora's Mask a little bit from a distance.
But then when you see there's a little SD guy there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff happening in the pendulum.
Like, please give us the art in higher than 320 pixels.
Someday. USB-C battery, like last time, it has the quality of life stuff. They look very nice. They point out that this shell for the 2 and 3 actually were never re-released after the initial release. They did a detailed preview video where they hint at very little that we didn't already know, but they show it off nicely. Then pre-orders are already open at Premium Bandai USA. And then
so tempted for that Nightmare Soldiers one.
And then moving over to the Vital Bracelet, they show off that, like we knew, Pulsemon gets new sprites, but his entire line gets new sprites. Very much lining up with artwork and stuff we've seen of the characters since then. And then we get to see the art of the Adventure with Shellon. I've seen a few people be upset about these. I like these.
The only one that's I like more of the original is like.
No, I meant for Shoutmon. I meant for Shoutmon. People have been complaining about the Shoutmon art a lot.
He looks fucking cool.
I think here's the thing. I think what they want is they want like the super deformed chubby style with a giant head. When these I'm not going to say these are great. I'm going to say these are like 7 out of 10 sprites for Shoutmon, but these feel a little bit more the actual designs. Although I will say for me,
portions are a little closer.
I will say for me, X4 and X7 feel a little bit Bruce Timm tip over. Where they do like the Bruce Timm thing where like the calves kind of move forward a bit. So it kind of looks like they're about to tip over. But like Omega Shoutmon, I actually like the proportions and that they use the dull gold instead of the bright yellow.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I love the weird big head Shoutmon.
Yes. Big head Shoutmon.
We accept no slander on that Shoutmon design. Because here's the thing, they want like a serious action Shoutmon, and this is much more what Shoutmon was in the anime. Like a goofy little dude.
He's just a screaming little goblin, and I love him.
Yeah. And then we got an extended preview of the Ken D3.
I still have to watch that.
I'm so fucking bemused by these. I'm still in my head, I'm still trying to decide if we'll see one more of these or a mock upgrade to the 15th show up based on the movie. It feels like we need something movie specific, doesn't it?
They will find any way to take our money.
Yes.
And we will give it to them.
And then cards.
Bunnies.
So first up, we have the pack art for booster set 16 and starter deck 17. And already, so for the starter deck, Terriermon and Lopmon, I love the color style for like the background.
Yeah.
And then I love how the booster set pack art is the perfect levels. Like, doesn't that feel like an Adventure 02 action image?
Mm-hmm.
It also feels like kind of like the same vibe as some of like the old Hyper Coliseum
booster packs. Yeah. And then a new card game commercial which shows off 02 theme cards, teases new and old 02 the beginning art. And I love they do the booster set thing in the like a mock Digimon analyzer. And they also show up during the World Tour a Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode Ace parallel card. Then we get the clean parallel cards, printable playmat, and some promo comparisons for booster set 15. I love the mat. Using the Dark
That
Masters.
Is my favorite one so far.
They frame the art of all four of them so well.
It is just absolutely fucking badass.
Then we get two English versions of the O2 the beginning commercial. They just frame it around booster set 14 and some O2 promo cards instead, which works really well. Then we start getting previews of LMO2, and we get actual confirmation what the set is. It is going to be a reprint set, basically, of cards that people actively use in decks, but that which have been hard to find.
It's nice of them.
Yeah, it so far from what they've shown, it's going to be half new art, half reprint. So from what we've got so far, Doraemon and Doraemon with old art, although new framing, and a few of the cards have a few of these were errata cards previously, and they do have the fixed text on them for some of these. Death Xmon. Here's the problem with Death Xmon. If you do anything other than have him stand there, it looks cool, but it's also like you got to turn your head a bit to figure out what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Chaos Dramon X. I really like this art because in art he's always so like dingy. I love him in an anime style. Like it very anime mech Gundam, and it works really well for the character.
It really gives me God, what the hell is its name from Zoids?
Oh, Liger?
Breaker, I think.
Yeah. And then
it gives me those vibes.
And then my favorite that we've seen so far is a parallel card for Armor Texture from Booster Set 8. Here's why this is neat. It's the same artist as the original card. The original card was Vmon with the Digimentals and the evolutions.
Oh, nice.
So this is the same artist, but doing Hawkmon and Armadamon. That is a great use of doing a parallel card. where you're just continuing the theme. It's great. Really great. Then Super Tamer Battle 3-on-3s in November, Japan. Various Impmon and Beelzebubmon cards. A weirdly doesn't quite fit the theme Yesmon playmat.
Yeah.
And that will be the first place that Limited Card Pack 2 is being sold. That Yesmon mat does not fit this theme. It's like
not at all.
It's like, here's an Impmon prize card, here's a Beelzebubmon prize card, here's a Beelzebubmon Blast Mode prize card, and there's Jesmon.
They should have made the playmat the motorcycle.
Yes, that probably would have been the correct call. And then 2 episodes of Card Battle. The first is them doing Booster Set 15 matches. Then they start a team event and start going through previews of Limited Card Pack 2. And then they're really going nuts with stuff. So I love the Gashapon thing.
Yes.
I love these. So
this is fantastic.
They are mini acrylic stands of every theatrical movie. So these are small. They're 300 yen. It's all the theatrical films. And of course, people had questions about 2 things. 1, Try's not there. And 2, X Evolution's there. X Evolution's a TV special. And Try's where we call it movies because it's easier. They are not considered theatrical films.
Yeah.
It's an OVA.
Yeah, so for the first 8 movies, we get them with their main theatrical poster art. All the poster text and everything. Kizuna, we get the final theatrical poster. Kizuna, we get the teaser poster. So these are very small, but I love the look of them.
They'd be fun on a little shelf.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do them for. So 300 yen per try. This is where you need to try to find a dealer will just sell a retail box.
Yeah, because I want all of these.
Yeah. Here's the if I were told, okay, if you buy a box of 10 for, let's say, 3,500 yen, a little on the top there, but you get all 10, I'd say great. Then we get poll results. So first up,
holy shit,
the Savers Digivice LCD toy. Digivice Burst Shine Orange. Now, this is the one we all thought would win. I don't think we expected.
I didn't think it would take that much of the pie.
47%. Second place is Mirage Blue with 15, barely getting in above the original orange Digivice IC. And if you combine the black and blue, they get a decent showing. I'm actually surprised the red. I think the red got as high as it did because I think most people who wanted a Toma one voted for Mirage Blue. Yeah,
I'm sad that my favorite got next to nothing.
Now, I don't believe I'm wrong in saying this. I believe every Saver-specific poll we've gotten for this, the Masaru Agumon combo has just completely destroyed fucking everything, right? Has there been any where there's even been, oh, this is kind of interesting?
I think Lilolong got a little bit higher than Moth Galgamon last time.
Oh no! It was that she almost got second.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't close to first.
Yeah. But it was a surprise that she competed, I think. And then the final 3 episodes of the Ghost Game print, and they renewed the print contract, so they will be there for at least another year.
Oh. Okay.
The winner was Regulusmon Evolving, which was not really a shock.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ones we all saw.
Yeah. I think that was the one we guessed would probably be one. It would be Regulusmon standing there or something. So number 2
Terriermon.
Yeah, number 2 is Terriermon. Number 3 is a tie between Siriusmon about to punch him in the face and the shot of them all standing there in the little base at the end. And was a tie for 3rd.
Yeah.
And 5th place was the little Gamamon callback shot to the first episode. This one is at least, I would say the top 5 for this one is all really close. What is the one that no one cared about?
There's so many.
Don't remember
There's
because...
There's one that actually has a 0.
Oh.
Give me 1 second. I want to see. Chapter 6708.
67. There's a lot of 67s on here.
Yeah, I'm not digging. Well, remember, it's only 3 episodes. Yeah, I'm not going to dig through these, but yeah. Someday we'll know. And then we have a new poll. Oh, man, this is going to be a fucking shocker, I'm sure. Voting closes in about a day. Vote between Shine Greymon, Mirage Galgamon, and Rosemon. I think this is the closest one where the Lalamon line could actually get second.
Yeah, Rosemon might have a shot at second here.
I have very little... minus vote stacking, I do not see Shine Greymon having any risk here.
No.
Agumon's supremacy will be maintained. And I keep in my head, I keep trying to go, do they do a burst mode one after? Or since they're more or less just recolors, do you think they skip doing burst?
They'll do a burst mode.
They'll do burst.
They'll do a burst
and
mode.
then what's weird is I feel like I have a better handle on the position for burst mode than I do here. I go Shine Greymon, and I feel like it could be a coin flip for 2 and 3. For burst mode, I feel like it's Shine Greymon, Rosemon, Mirage Galgamon.
Yes.
I feel like the white is so striking with Rosemon, it bumps her up easily.
It's like the white with like pink accents. It's
the one where you can tell, you can go, okay, that's burst mode.
Yes. So we will see. And then we get the little potpourri stuff. So first up, Tendiabuno has started drawing more Dreamers because they're almost caught up. And we get to see some really nice art of him. This is clearly like a chat. I'm almost not sure if this is really a image from a chapter. This could almost be like a volume 2 cover. Or this could be a if you have
chapter cover.
Or like if you have not been reading the catch-ups, here's like the action page 1. And then
Ritsu looks so serious about a second one.
And then he also showed off a bit of chapter 14, since that was what was posted at the time. He also pointed out it's all stuff that is not collected in the physical volume now. And he goes, for some reason, Pal is very excited about Wizardmon's return.
It's going to steal his hat.
Then at the museum, they're doing the Tailmon stamp now. And they also announced that October 12th through 31st will be not only the return of the Vmon stamp, but a Daisuke stamp. And then I love the social art of them at the restaurant from Kizuna.
Yes.
It makes me so hungry.
Oh, it's so fucking good, the art.
The reference is so perfect.
Now, that's where that game they did the collaboration had a poster for, wasn't it? I think in the movie it was that Idol game that they did the event with in the movie, and now it's the movie poster itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember.
Also, Stingmon, with those chopsticks being slow, is not going to get to eat a lot with XVmon.
No, really.
Stingmon's being all polite and shit. That ain't going to work. And then, with the 7th anniversary of Atmon, Naoki Akamine posted various Atmon images he'd done in the past. 2 of these are images he did after Atmon ended. 2 are the actual manga volume covers from when he made the manga. But yeah, just really nice, showing off clean and everything. What's interesting is the Haru image, which was from like a year ago, I want to say, that's always been formatted as a desktop wallpaper. He took the Gachimon image, and I can't tell if he just took a screenshot of his phone or if he framed it in black on purpose so people could use it as a phone wallpaper.
It's not a very good phone wallpaper if it is.
No, who knows? But yeah. But I love those manga covers so much. They look so good. And then Digimon Partners updated on a few things. First, they're doing a little contest for the movie, as you would expect. People get to win plushes, cards, and they also showed off that water bottle again.
All hail the water bottle.
Oh, I will say this. I think this is the first time we've seen how the top works, and that there's actually like a drinking thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a full thing of water next to me that I guzzle throughout the show.
Same.
Which is getting dangerously low.
I'm dehydrated and desiccated.
I'm only halfway through.
Then Anime Stellar did their episode with Hiromi Seki and Tomohisa Taguchi. I believe this is the first appearance of a Vmon promotional plush, like the Agumon one they've had for years. That is an amazing. I would buy that Vmon plush.
I want to hug it so much.
Do you think they like ground the Gatchmon one into chunks? That and the Harrismon one, neither of those have been seen since their respective things ended. Those are stuffing for the new Vmon plush.
Considering how long it's been, that stuffing might have actually disintegrated.
Poor Harrismon.
Then from AIM and social media users, we have some photos from the collaborations that started. Tokyo Towers event. I will say this, the cone, they look, now when they showed us the photo of those were like in a cup, right? The ice cream looks much nicer in a cone. And I still don't know if those are edible or not. I think they are, though.
From the chalky-looking texture, I'm
probably
sure they are.
Probably. And then AIM went to the karaoke. You know, I will say this. Seeing these drinks just makes me go, none of these look better than they did in the promo photos where we all kind of like went queasy. In fact, some of these look worse.
Worse?
I mean, the promo photos are supposed to be as appealing as they're going to get.
Yeah.
Which says this unfortunate.
This is kind of disgusting.
Yeah, they really do. I will say this: while I still don't necessarily like them, the ice cream, the drinks at the Tokyo Tower stuff actually look decent for what they are.
Yeah,
they don't look sad like the karaoke ones.
Karaoke ones look borderline food poisoning time.
Then a few more photos from the early screenings. So here's where I'm confused. Miyanori from Card Battle was there. I guess she was one of the MCs. And then Chiba from Card Battle also posted a photo joking that he snuck in. But also pointing out, like, it's weird. He got, like, serious. He's like, it's kind of weird. As an adult, he kind of thinks back as, like, Daisuke and Vmon could always cheer you up. And it's like, that's oddly, like, serious for him because almost anything he ever says public facing is like, oh, he's the professional clown. So it's kind of neat to see that. And then photos taken, I believe, behind the scenes at the screening. Jun Noda and Naozumi Takahashi with plushes of Vmon and Wormmon. I think that's a new Wormmon plush, or is that the one they sold a few years ago?
Looks like the same Wormmon plush.
Although he has the Otodama hanging from his belt.
Oh god, I just noticed that one. That's adorable.
Then Ayaka Isai and Koichi Tsuchika with a Hawkmon plushie. Now, this is a new promotional plushie. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah. What's funny is I like the one where he's not there and she's like trying to pose it. That is
this is large and unwieldy.
So here's what's funny. I love promotional plushies like this because, like, it does not have the serious look of Hawkmon, so it kind of has almost a more cute look to it. That's fun.
Yeah.
And then it is time for questions. You guys in chat can throw yours up. First one, though, send in. So I want to know, what Digimon series and movie do you think are most rewatchable? Now, this is interesting because it doesn't say best. It says rewatchable.
Yeah,
I think I have my answer for both. 0-2 in our war game.
I think most rewatchable is Adventure. Like, I don't think it. I mean, I'm Tamer's trash, so I don't think Adventure is the best, but I think it's the most rewatchable.
Adventure
I think that you can go through. I think you can go through and keep finding new interesting characters.
Here's why I picked 0-2. Adventure is very close, and it's nearly a tie. I think 0-2 episodes have a tendency to work alone if you're just going to watch an episode at random. If you're watching the show through, then yes, Adventure is probably better. But I was kind of thinking of it as...
Oh, yeah, I was thinking going through the whole...
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of it as like, oh, I have time to watch a random episode. What can I watch an episode of and it'll be fun? And I won't go, well, damn, I really should be watching 20 more in the next hour and a half.
I think there's an interesting question in how in best, if we were to take the top 25, just you want to watch one episode, which ones are the best, to just straight standalone episodes, trying to allocate from each series would be an interesting question.
You know what the issue I always have with pick the top one is? It always ends up being it's always an episode that is not indicative of the show as a whole. It's the special episode.
That's why it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
That's why that's an interesting question.
Because for Adventure, most people are going to pick episode 21.
Yeah. That one came to mind.
If I were doing a list like that, then that's one where there's going to be some Ghost Game episodes that I'd put on that list of just one singular episode.
That's where Ghost Game could probably punch above its weight. Is if you ignore the idea of it as a show and go this one thing.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I do agree that our War Game's the most rewatchable movie. Although I do, this is one where
I think movie 4. I think movies 4 has a lot of rewatchability, and the second Tamers one also.
Movie 4 is solid. I do like movie 4. Yeah. I also want to say that I do think the Tri movies, to a point, are very rewatchable.
They are,
especially because it takes a couple watches to really get all the stuff that's going on there.
It also helps if you're sure the person you're talking to has watched them, which, as we've seen in the last few days, is not always a sure thing.
Yeah, clearly people need to watch Tri again, because
it's for the first time.
My favorite argument in the past week was it has nothing from 02 in it, and it's trying to retcon 02 so it never happens. What the fuck? Here's the thing: if you don't like the 02 kids not being in it almost at all, that's valid, but that's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of 02 in Tri. Yeah. There's a ton of 02 in Tri.
Yeah, anyone who says we're not focusing on those characters, so they just put them on a bus. They're on vacation somewhere for now. They're not.
But no, the season itself has a ton of nods and references and stuff in.
Dev, if you said your choices, I missed them entirely.
I mostly just said the.
Oh, you said the first Tamers movie. Movies. Did you say any show stuff?
Honestly, it would have to be Tamers again, just because when I get the chance, I will rewatch it. But I think it just depends on my mood at the time.
No, and for example, Ramon thought, Atmon would rank high. Atmon may rank high. It has some definite rewatchable parts. I just would never put it as 1.
Yeah.
Atmon's on the list. It just is not. The only episode of Atmon that might ever be able to fight for my top choice in rewatchability is, again, an episode that isn't really an Atmon episode. It's the one with it's the one with Agumon farting around. But again,
there are better
Atmon there are better episodes, but rewatchable ones. Also, I tend to think Atmon felt the most watchable when it did have the kids just kind of farting around I'm going to go in the secret base. We have to go to the mall. Instead of the episode, the handful of episodes people tend to talk about the most are the very serious ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the best of Atmon was when it was being fun, at least to me.
Yeah. I like the episode. I mean, there's some good episodes of Atmon with blend the two that are both very fun and then also have some serious stuff in it.
Okay. Then, if I understand the question from Digilabs, at first I thought this was asking the question we just did. I think what they're asking is what thing from a Digimon movie would we like to see pop up in a show, is what I think they're asking. Honestly, I think everything from shows a lot of the more interesting stuff does somehow make it back to shows, except for the special movie stuff. I don't think we need Paladin mode in a show.
My answer, I want rhythm. I want more rhythm.
Oh,
from the
hell
Sabres
yeah.
Movie.
Same.
Rhythm is a weird concept that absolutely did not get explored well enough. I want more rhythm.
I think that's why you get the concept, though, is because they don't have to explore it. It's meant to be a weird, and of course the question is theoretical, so it doesn't matter the relevance of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand.
Like make it relevant somehow. That's, yeah.
I'm trying to think like what has shown up in the movies that I really would like to see in a show. I'm going to pick something more conceptual. I like the shows definitely do it. I think one of the things that mixes if someone likes Try or Not is if they like the bordering on slice of life at times. I'd like to see like an episode of Digimon that is just the weird slice of life stuff that invariably when a show gets close to it, we all end up enjoying it.
Yeah, no, the slice of life stuff in Try is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's more character-driven episodes, basically.
Yeah.
And as for your question about who's voicing Daisuke in the English dub, the answer is we don't know. We have a reasonable idea, but that we're not going too deep into actors baiting at the moment because we'll probably know by the weekend anyways. Probably.
Yeah.
Then so I want to know, what arcade games did we enjoy playing when we were at an arcade or whatever when you were younger?
I was when I was young, I was always a big skee ball fan. As I got a little older, I was kind of a DDR junkie.
If I have to think about like what my quarters, well, I should say where my parents and grandparents' quarters went to the most, it would probably be a subset of the following: the two Ninja Turtles arcade games, the Simpsons arcade game, various Street Fighters and other fighting games. I definitely played plenty of skee ball though. I got plenty of tickets for shit.
There weren't any arcades around me, so like when I visited like my nana down the shore, it would be like, okay, here's a little bit of skee ball, but for what I actually ended up playing, one of those the dump truck machine where you had to like time the coin to hit the dump truck.
Oh, there's so many of those. Yeah, that's the one I remember. The one where you stand around like the circle machine, and it's the light goes around in a circle, and you're trying to stop it.
Oh yeah, those are so rigged.
Oh yeah, that's the fun part. Every single one of those machines ever is actually rigged. It is actually possible to have perfect mechanical timing, and it will skip the win.
Yeah.
In fact, I think a family friend was the person who made the video showing that it's impossible sometimes. I think. I need to check who made that. I believe it was actually a family friend who like made a backpack apparatus with like a microsecond camera and a microsecond button presser and actually built like a device to calculate the timing and everything. And you can get the timing perfect and it will skip to the next one.
Yep, because fuck you.
Yeah. Let's see. Powerhouse has doubts if the dubs actually come out. I'll say this: is it possible they made a mistake and they're talking about December? It's possible, but they're selling a lot of tickets, and
they
didn't get
a rough mistake if it's
they didn't get those two dates out of thin air.
No.
Here's
legit.
Here's the thing: if one random theater was showing it, I'd say maybe. At this point, it's in ticket sites and it's in the systems of a ton of companies. And there's
also the same exact thing happened with the Reincarnated as a Slime movie. It's like one day was the sub and the other day that they were showing was the dub. You got to choose.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is there's only one way you could have so many theaters and ticket companies making the mistake, and that's if Fathom gave them those dates to do. At this
and that kind of turnaround time to get a dub together, that's not unrealistic, considering when the movie had to be finished in Japan.
Yes. I'm looking forward to the cast list.
Yeah.
I have no involvement in it, but I've heard things. So I'm very interested in seeing what the cast is for this. Let's see. So yeah, my expectation is this. Here's my expectation to Powerhouse in the chat. Buy your tickets, and worst case is it's wrong and you get a refund. because you don't want to be in the position where you go, oh, this is not happening, and then it does happen, and maybe the theater you wanted to go to sells out. I'm not sure I expect sellouts because the entire point of doing them when they are is most people aren't going to the movies. But I would, if you can afford it, I would get a ticket now.
It's also unlikely to be a 1 month mistake because 8th and 9th of December is a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. You're not getting these screenings on that.
Adam's not doing a Friday, Saturday screenings.
No. Yeah, we're not getting that in the middle of December on Friday. That's not fucking
absolutely not.
Yeah. Someone wanted to know, do you think we will get some nice movie merchandise? Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
Like here's the thing. Those 300 yen stands aren't bad, and we're already starting to see event stuff. We'll see more as we get closer. Let's see.
I want a large Hawk One plushie for some reason.
Okay.
I do now.
Yes. And Matthias, he says he knows this is impossible to know, but like if we're just gonna randomly guess, how long do we think before we get a Digimon TV season air again? It doesn't feel like it's that long.
Yeah, it could be. It could be next April, October.
That's the thing. It's like
it's
possible. In my heart, that's what I want to guess. My head just goes, that seems too quick. But also you have a movie coming out right now, and then if you target stuff, that's a perfect time. But also
it's the turnaround time from the reboot to airing was I think it was announced in January and pushed out in April.
But also here's the other thing: if you were gonna do a show, the perfect fucking time to do it is right as you're doing the 25th anniversary.
Yep.
That would be good timing. Let's see. Digilabs wants to know, what musical would we like to see turn into Digimon?
I'm confused by this question, but I want to give an answer to it because this is right in my wheelhouse.
I think they mean it's a musical, but also Digimon were in it.
Little Shop of Horrors?
It feels like that's too close, actually, honestly. That's basically just, okay, instead of this, it's Palmon.
I'm thinking Avenue Q right now.
Feed me.
Avenue Q with Digimon would be hilarious.
Oh God, yes.
Yes. God, I feel like it has to be something where they don't belong at all, like Singing in the Rain.
My Fair Lady.
Oh my God, yes.
But yeah, and this is last chance for you guys to ask questions in the chat.
Now I'm going all hog wild here, what a Digimon production of Les Mis, we can
Digimon
go wild
Chicago.
with this.
See, here's the flaw with this topic. The flaw with this topic isn't that the topic's bad.
The Dark Area Tango.
It's that it's the same idea as what movie would you like to see redone just with the Muppets, and it's that list never ends.
Yeah, no. The thing is, every musical works with Digimon. It's funny. No, it's funny in some fashion.
Yes. And Ian in chat, My Fair Lady Devimon.
Lady Devimon.
See, that's a different way to take it. Is rather than just putting Digimon in it, actually renaming them and reframing it around one character, whether they fit or not. And now in my head, I just have the song from The Simpsons. Chimpanzee to Chimpanzee. Just Planet of the Apes, the musical with Digimon. But yeah.
Planet of the Apes could... A Digimon version of Planet of the Apes could work if Charlton Heston's still in it.
Right, it'd be poorly CGI animated Charlton Heston.
It's just Charlton Heston surrounded by Digimon.
No, animated like he came out of X Evolution.
Or animated as he was on as Troy McClure in The Simpsons.
Yeah. See, that's what I would want. And then, last question in the sent ahead of time, so last chance for chat. How long do we think season 2 being the thing being shown off as the major thing in the brand will continue for? There's 2 correct answers to this question.
Yeah, and I think which one it is indicative. So the future. The
first answer is a month after the movie's out. meaning after promotional stuff ends and it's still technically in theaters in Japan, but it's where you can either do more merchandise or you can begin to wind down. Or the answer 2 is when the 25th anniversary begins, whenever that is, because that could be a month after the movie's out.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's one of those things where I would love for them to do a calm adventure anniversary. We don't get calm adventure anniversaries.
No, we have our Walt screaming bloody murder, begging us to stop.
Yes, this is where, like, it is terrifying to think. And I don't mean, like, oh, a show for sure, or a movie. I mean the stuff we're going to fucking get.
Yeah.
Will be terrifying. Dev is sobbing right now looking at her wallet. But yeah, it
But I think that the degree that O2 is incorporated into post-movie stuff might be indicative if there is a future, whatever future adventure content we get.
The question also
will dictate how much 02 is
and
represented.
The success of the movie will also dictate, because one, I don't think any of us believe this is the end. But
no, absolutely not.
It's only the beginning.
But shut the fuck up. That's too easy. So I think the big question isn't, is this the end? It's when they do another one, is it adventure and 02, or is it adventure?
Right. Same thing with a possible anything with a possible potential series. If there is a potential series on the horizon that follows up on the original adventure.
If it follows Pendulum the series.
Yeah, well, if it follows up on the original adventure verse, it's kind of hard not to have 02 in it. So them still being represented could be leaning in that direction too.
I feel like in my head they wait to do that until they hit the actual year.
I was thinking that too.
Because they have it pre-built in that when 02 ends, you have kids running off on a new adventure.
But if that's like what they're thinking, they'd probably keep 02 in the limelight a little bit to keep that them in the mindset.
I think what you mean is, oh no, Daisuke has to go run his noodle business in America, so now it's Tai's son, and Tai is their mentor.
It would be, but I don't think you're not leaving the 02 epilogue kids out of that.
In fact, that is just what the final current season of Power Rangers did. Oh, that character's gone. Everyone gets new powers, and Billy's the mentor.
Yeah, my kid watched that. It was very interesting. It's I haven't watched Power Rangers in 25 years, and I'm coming back and Billy's here.
I haven't watched Rangers consistently in a very, very long time. I was going to skip this, and I was like, you know what? I'll watch the last one because it's the last one.
It is the last one. Yeah.
And someone I know who is connected to every Power Rangers, like, watch the last two because it's kind of a two-parter at the end. So I watched the last two, and I had a few thoughts. The first is the music's terrible. Two, it very much felt like classic Power Rangers, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's weird, is how
it's weird because I watched plenty of Power Rangers that is newer than the oldest of the old, and it definitely did evolve. And this felt like it de-evolved to trying to be the original show.
Yeah, it was that was the impression I got. It's like, wow, this is still Power Rangers.
Going to the nostalgia hook.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird because, but like, as far as I know, that isn't what Dino Fury was. And this was a continuation of Dino Fury.
Yeah.
And now, I didn't watch it, so maybe what I've been told is just fucking wrong, and Dino Fury is exactly like this, but...
It's not quite. It seems the Dino Fury seemed a little bit more modern and detached from classic.
Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, so it's interesting to see where Digimon goes, because there are a lot of weird choices, because you can do something new. You can do we're actually catching up to the epilogue in real life, and this is where, like, people are like, adventure pandering. What they forget is adventure went away. It actually did, and just nothing else was able to do anything. And now
Adventure, they sprinkled a little bit of Adventure, and just like everyone jumped on it. Like,
and now Adventure's back and strong and revitalized the brand when we're very close to when that epilogue could be.
Yeah.
And also, since Kakudo has just like out, they don't need to worry about arguing with him.
They don't do whatever they want.
They don't need to hear the argument. No, they should go to Mars. But yeah, there's a lot of places it could go, and new, old. There's also I still think the ending to 2020 is the ultimate cheat. Because at that point, you can do anything with them when they're still kids, and you don't have to explain, oh, it's actually the reboot, not the original show. You can just do it, have them look however you want, and just not explain it. And if someone asks you, oh, it's clearly the reboot. Because they lock themselves out of using those kids too much in the original one. And that's why we get so much weird attempts. That's why they age them up, basically.
But I mean, that's sort of the problem with the epilogue in the first place that I think everybody pointed out back in 2003.
Well, no, that's the weird thing.
Coming into fruition.
So that's the weird thing is there's a part of the epilogue everyone always seems, and I think we've talked about it before. TK, this is in the Japanese, so it's not like a dubism. He says things weren't perfect, and they had other adventures and problems they had to deal with.
That's not what I meant. Like, what I meant is just the situation where everyone finds themselves in. Like, even though there's clearly stories to be told. I
think you can fudge a lot of those, and they kind of have on an ongoing basis. Here's the thing: if they did ongoing stuff, I do not expect Miyako to be a housewife.
No.
I expect
her to be an assassin.
They fudged that like 20 times. They fudged that like 20 times over.
Because it's terrible.
Yeah. And Matthias, that didn't happen. The reboot did fine. I know people think it didn't, but it did pretty well.
No, people watched
it. What people miss is they look at that one financial report, and they're missing that in that financial report, they were expecting to have events.
Right.
Which didn't happen because that's why the very next financial report was like, the show's doing great. Because they're no longer mathing out how much money they think they'll get from cafes and shit. In fact, a lot of those places don't even exist anymore. They're not even mathematically on the books.
But one advantage of not having that narrative quality is that you do have kind of a blank slate with the reboot characters. Yeah. Like, if you wanted to have a more story-driven, character-driven show with the reboot characters, you can still do that because they really didn't get a whole lot of that.
Yeah. The ultimate ending of the reboot, more than, like, here's the thing, AR doesn't like it, Dev I don't remember, I think it's fine, I don't think it's great. It isn't the reboot in and of itself, it's that if they want to use them as kids, they can and they don't have to explain shit.
Right.
The way Adventure in 02 played out, there's a limited amount of using them as kids in future material without explaining it.
Yeah.
Now they don't have to say shit. You can dress them in their original clothes and just go, must be after the reboot. So yeah, so first AR, what have you been up to? Other than just looking at this weird-ass news we've had.
I haven't even been looking at the weird-ass news we've had.
I mean the movies. I mean the movie news.
Yeah. I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to that either. I just kind of catch up for the podcast. I've been actually just doing other stuff, working on trying to make original stories and plotting that stuff out. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing work. I think I'm ahead at the moment, so I'm trying to decide if after the podcast I will watch the disc I imported from Japan, which is the Gurren Lagann movies in 4K with HDR.
I'm finally close to beating Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I've been actually doing.
Oh, I thought your estimate was you weren't going to get there until Christmas.
I thought I wasn't, but I found myself very close all of a sudden.
Without getting too spoilery for people, where are you in it?
I'm about to start the final. I'm about to enter the final thing. Like, I've gotten all the shrines. I've gotten all the wells. I've almost gotten all the bubble gems. I'm very close,
Okay.
and I've gotten all the sages. Like I'm almost there. Like there's basically nothing left for me to do but beat the game. So
Oh,
I guess
okay.
about time for me to beat the game.
So you are 100% sure you're actually at the end of the game?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because Tears of the Kingdom likes to fuck with you about that.
I know what you're talking about, and I'm past that point.
Okay, good. Oh, I love that. I love that point. I just went, this does not make any sense. It can't possibly. And it's like, okay, yeah, the game's definitely fucking with me.
Oh, I loved that moment. I knew the game. I knew what the game was trying to do, and like, yes, this is.
And here's what I love. After you deal with that moment, there's no more narration for the blood moons.
I love that too. That was so chilling.
I noticed that when it happened. It's like, oh, this is so good.
That's why I'm avoiding that, because I really like the narration.
Yeah. Dev, what
Princess Renaissance fair voice?
What Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Just because it was brought up earlier, Lady Devimon.
That's a good one. I can be found
All
with the
Wills.
I can be found at With the Wills always on top of Twitter and the normal places. The Blue Sky is fully up. Dev has an invisible Blue Sky. AR has a Blue Sky that I don't think he's done anything with, but it is there.
It exists. I have to
I can see the invite. I can see the invite crossed off on my panel, so I know it's there.
Yes.
And I believe yes.
I think I followed you.
I think I followed you too.
I haven't done anything after actually making the account.
To be fair, I don't think you did on Twitter either. I think you use it for when you need to check stuff.
Yeah, so I don't have to deal with, oh, you can't view this without being logged in. Which is like, fine, here's an account. Fuck it, don't care.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie. It's interesting. I think the most interesting thing about the movie is O2 has such a different vibe than Adventure, and it does not have the weight of having done attempts at more quote-unquote serious stuff like in Movie 2 or Try or Kizuna. So I'm kind of curious to see it in that vein of Kizuna. Because it is a sequel.
Yeah, that is going to be a weird vibe for the O2 kids in that situation. Yeah, so because part of me is I kind of just want to have an hour of the kids just around.
And that's always been my argument about why I don't think more Tamers works. I think generically, anyone says they want more Tamers, they don't actually mean they want more adventures. They want more of the kids from Tamers. And I don't think Tamers works like that. I think Zero 2, you can have an hour of them farting around and be perfectly happy. I don't think you're happy with that with Tamers.
Frontier, you can. They only did limited farting around.
To be fair, that's what Frontier kids. To be fair, that's what the anniversary audio drama for Frontier is.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone was perfectly the Tamers one. The setup was, oh, here's a dark news story with blah 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 blah, and everyone's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Then the Frontier one happens, they're riding the train and talking about pasta, and also Duskmon's back and trying to murder people, and there's Pumpin' Gatsu, and everyone's like, that's fucking great.
Yeah, that's another plus for the Atmon kids, is them farting around is wonderful too.
Yes, and that's where there's a lot of the early episodes especially. Yeah, so we will catch you guys next time, and then by next time we will probably let's see. We have 2 more shows before we do the movie podcast. I hope by next time I have stuff locked in and we can just say what we're doing. I like what we're hopefully doing. So we will catch you guys all next time in about 2 weeks. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.